Right. Hello, hello, hello. I'm giving it just a moment here. This is Joelle. I'm very excited to be here in this now moment. Oh my goodness. Such beautiful energy today. I hope that you're doing well. To be okay. Got the sound on okay. 77 seconds ago, we started live streaming. Gonna give just a few moments here. The Good Vibe Tribe, we've been having an amazing day. It's been a lot of energy happening, and I'm very excited to share with you all the information that is coming through not just me, but our whole collective experience. And I'm certain that your collective experience is probably going to be aligning with this as well. So let me see here. All right. So my name is Joelle, and I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I am on that journey for myself, and through sharing here, I hope that you too will be elevated, enlightened, and empowered. I mean, this is a beautiful, magical experience at this point, and I hope that you are every day having some opportunity to revel in delight and joy about something in your life and the way that it is unfolding. So I'm trying to find the entrance point to what has been a multiple day experience. I hope that you had opportunity to catch my readings that I've been doing with the eclipse energies, the eclipse window, which we are in right now. I'm living through the experience of the guidance that I receive and pass on. So let me see here okay. I went yesterday to a beautiful event that is facilitated by a sister named Sandy Mohammed. It is a family mapping workshop, and I found the work that she is able to facilitate through these workshops to be so very valuable for me that I began referring my friends and continuing to participate in her ongoing sessions. And so it has just been very transformative. And I can't wait to share more with you and plan to have Sandy on to talk about the work that she facilitates. But yesterday was an event, and I went with my good friend, and it was, again, another transformative experience. So what I'm going to be sharing with you are pieces and parts of that as it relates to an ongoing experience then today. So starting from today's point, when I woke up after yesterday's experience in my meditation space this morning, I was working with rainbow energies and my light body and my vessel. And I will come back to that. I need to make sure that I do not lose track of that because a lot of information is flowing through. So, okay. I was working with the rainbow energy, and what came to mind was I wondered what guidance would be able to come or be explained to me through the metaphysical cannabis oracle deck. And I knew that my sister friend Stacy, a beautiful priestess and way shower, that she had this deck in her arsenal. So I had made a mental note that if I talked to her, I would ask her to pull a card for me. Now, she shortly thereafter reached out to say what we were going to all be doing, and thus ensued a morning conversation and gathering and sharing of energy that is just continuing to elevate and boost my mood today. So Backing up to yesterday, at a break-in situation, I was sharing with the ladies that I spent some time in Mexico. And during that time, I was connected with two beautiful individuals, Juan and Diana, and that I was going to have a water therapy. And that going into this water therapy, there were all these yellow butterflies in the entrance of it, and that I had remarked about these butterflies. And as we were walking in, and Diana said, "Oh, yes, we're going into Oshun's Lagoon." And I remember thinking, that's unusual for it to have Oshun as a term. It seemed unusual to me because I was in the Riviera Maya, Mexico. So she was like, yes, it's Oshun, Yemaya, and Ixchel. Well, because of my journey, I knew that this was like an indicator of where I was supposed to be at that moment, because again, spirits and synchronicities and signs. So when she shared that these yellow butterflies and we were going to Oshun's Lagoon, I did have a hugely emotional experience in this lagoon of being kind of rebirthed through a Janzu aquatic therapy. It's a beautiful modality. I highly advise that you check it out. So, sorry, I got to get the continuity here. Okay, so I was sharing with them about Oshun's Lagoon and my experience there in the water. And then, of course, the day continued on to have other parts that I will speak about. But so this morning when we gathered, the card that came up that Stacy drew is what blew me away. Now, this is, let's see if I can make this big. The card Oshun, Justice. Now, immediately, Stacy was bringing in guidance and energy and information, and I and Tanya as well, like our whole group, we were having this conversation, and all of us started like receiving different synchronicities and messages. So I'm just, showing you this beautiful, beautiful card. Now, in yesterday to beginning our energy, we spent time outdoors. And Sandy led us through this beautiful experience of connecting with our energies and working in a specific way in order to move energies around. And at the image of this, immediately I felt the resonance of the actions. And it was just so delightful. Okay. And also then my friend who two of the women in the circle today had wrapped their head with beautiful scarves and adornments. We wear bracelets and jewelry, right? And like these footsteps and all of this. So at the time yesterday, when we were doing our work outdoors, we were in the sun and it felt so wonderful to be on the green grass. And we were facing the rising sun and activating in the solar energies of our light body. And behind us, a car was driving by, and it I didn't know what had happened, but my friend who went said that it was an electric car and it stalled behind us. Now, we had all just kind of been being in the moment, but of course, because the car was in proximity and you couldn't really see who it was, we all kind of like paused to make sure we were environmentally aware. But, Sandy kept our attention focused and was securely reassuring us, I've got you guys. I know they're there. It's okay. Just continue to face, and she continued to then bring us back into that connected state with ourselves. And I laughed and I said, it's like, well, they felt the energy center coming, they couldn't help it. They were drawn to us to get a little recharge in this moment. And we all kind of like giggled and went forward. I didn't know at that point that it was an electric vehicle that had a problem. And I found out later then from our resident Schumann watcher, Guba, that at 10 o'clock yesterday, she got a Schumann alert on her phone. Now, the Schumann resonance is an indicator of like the vibrational frequency output of the planet. And there are plenty of teachings out there. They'll say pro, they'll say con, but the basic way I operate is that when there are waves of energy that come from space, motivation aside of those energies, there's lots of theories about that, right? But energies of things that come from the sun, coronal mass ejections, galactic sheets, plasma waves, there's all kinds of things happening out in space that run across planet Earth. And the planet responds vibrationally or electrically to that frequency. And so when there are Schumann whiteouts or places when there is a gap in data, or different colors are different frequencies. And so when it reaches a certain frequency, it's like the earth has been zapped with power. And that electricity, if you're aware of it, it is affecting your body. So if you stay aware of the electrical weather or the energetic weather, then you will be better able to manage your own body self in response to those external factors. So we tend to follow the Schumann resonance in order to know whether there's like a day when we might have had heart palpitations, headaches, things of that nature. But yesterday, there was such a strong pulse in the planetary frequency at 10 that it triggered her threshold notification. Now, that is the time when we were out there then also acting and standing and grounded in earth, receiving and intentional activities, solar energies. So I love that that happened. That's like, how cool to know that I was like lightning rodding in that moment, and I felt the energy, the glow, etc. And then to know and have it confirmed is super cool. Okay, so coming back to today, that was one of the information that was brought out today in terms of Oshun and our connection to have our comparing of notes. Okay, so let me come back to sharing Oshun. Now, Oshun says, let me see if I can go to the next one. This suit begins with the power of the sword suit, Oshun rising out of water in her bright yellow clothing with a sword of water piercing the sky. The ocean and the clouds seem to be connected and allow you to flow into a victorious alignment. Ocean brings the sword to you because it is time to stand up for justice. She rises effortlessly and reminds you that the strength of your ancestors is remembered in the water of your body. Oshun wears gold jewelry, brass bracelets, beads, mirrors, and elaborate fans, and every aspect of the card is shining. Around here are the elements of music, dance, fertility, and prosperity, and in the background, a grove of trees signifies her throne. A grove of trees signifies her throne. Now, in the work of understanding our connection to who we came from, who they came from, all the way back into really of us as a human species or an aware species. When we begin to look to solving the questions of the now, the past is informing of that. Now, the interpretation of the past is going to change the experience of the past. So finding things like in the literal archaeological record 100 years ago, our understanding of what we dug up from the earth is much different than 100 years later when we've had the scientific ability to analyze something at a molecular level or granular way that we couldn't with the technology that we had available to us 100 years ago. And we find out we have to change a whole narrative because our timeline has shifted, or a previously understood scientific fact has now been changed to a new fact, and there must be an adaptation that flows from that point. So it is a beautiful thing to have the records available of the past, and a beautiful thing to change our perspective through the gaining of more awareness. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to continue with where things are. All right, so Oshun, let me come back to another card that came in this set when it talks about the Oracle suit. This particular card in this deck is divided by themes. So the theme of the Oracle suit, this is the picture that is the representation in the book for when this section begins. So we have here this energetic arrow, this wand, this, going, being intentionally aimed and directed in a forward motion. And as I see that, it's like the intention and the energy of all of the effort of evolution, of incarnation of us as humans is to project to the highest possible point or goal. The effort of our DNA, of our ancestors, of ourselves, is to project us to the highest reach possible to the solar space and activation. So in this guidance coming through for us to help us know where to aim our efforts, that is the purpose of receiving oracle or spiritual insights. So here it says, may your cup overflow. And these cards and goddesses, orishas, voodoo queens, and deities of African cultures debut powerful feminine and sacred masculine energy into your readings. These oracles have been forgotten by many, and they each carry a transformative energy you can receive. It is important to understand the value of balance in the sacred energies when it comes to working with the oracles. If you ask, be prepared for it to be given. I love that because it's saying the balance of sacred energies. And when you look at the card, the balance of sacred energies, the water, the flow state, balanced. We've got masculine energy and effort, feminine emotional flow manifesting together, right? And we see here, you know, Stacy was talking a lot about integration and how we incorporate the things that we learn about our past that change our perspective. Then how do you integrate that so that something new emerges going forward? And so like that, bringing something from as above, so below, we're also integrating the divine down into the manifest. Okay, so continuing. In our share, I was recalling about the Ocean's Lagoon and the yellow, the lightning bolt of transformation that Kwak, the butterfly, is that moment when the butterfly truly like bursts forth that it takes to emerge from that cocoon. And so I knew that I was going to read into Kwak because that Mayan energy was coming up, and I just came back from the Riviera Maya. So I went and I pulled my Mayan Oracle, Galactic Language of Light. That's what I was shown. Okay, so Kwak is transformation, yellow, the lightning bolt energy. All right, now, I know there's pieces of this puzzle that are kind of here, and I won't say that I forgot them because they're not coming in yet, but they're teetering. So I'm assuming the way that I'm building this is the way that Spirit needs me to build this, not the way that I thought that I was going to need to share it. So I'm just going to continue to move with the energy. All right, so I knew that the Kwak would also come in because there was also part of our discussion where I was sharing about plant medicine and the ability to open up new pathways within the brain through those plant medicine experiences that allow one's perspective to be shifted in a permanent way. And that was the starting point at that point in Ocean's Lagoon, where I was led to a journey with ayahuasca. So I've had 3 journeys with ayahuasca in a very sacred way through this opportunity that I received through my brother and sister, Juan and Diana, who I met at having a water, an indigenous pathway water work where I was rebirthed. Okay, so here we have Oshun continuing to talk about today, then, that may your cup overflow, that it is important to understand the balance, excuse me, that where's it at? Rising out of the water. The strength of your ancestors is remembered in the water of your body. The strength of your ancestors is remembered in the water of your body, right? We are water. Water is never destroyed nor created. It just changes form, right? So we are the waters, the sacred waters of our parents living today, right? So, okay, I need to make a note, excuse me. Okay, ancestors. Okay, so Kwak, lightning bolt of transformation. If I can get this. Now, this is a whole system of glyphs and things, but what I will say is interesting to me is that there are 7 dots on this planetary object, which 7 is my divine feminine calling card and associated with the 7 sisters of the Pleiades and the galactic consciousness that flows through their teachings and their connection with us here doing this ascension work. It's almost like I see bowling if you will, with the 10 pins, aiming an objective on grapes and harvest and the moon behind. And of course, purple is higher consciousness as well. You see, you're bringing in bringing down higher consciousness. Okay, so it is CAUAC. Sorry, I know this is crazy, but CAUAC. Kwak. Final surrender, purification, transformation, reunion, light body activation, thunder being, lightning path, initiation by fire, the ecstasy of freedom. Okay. One of the things about the Oshun card and the energy is there was freedom in it. It was dancing, it was light-hearted, it was joyful, fluid, and flowing. I'm getting ready to share my screen again. Beautiful and flowing. Movement, dance, rhythm, freedom, not confined or boxed. It's like a lightning bolt too, being like coming down as well. All right, so coming back to Kwak. Kwak is the initiation by fire, the lightning path, the arrival of the thunder beings who bring the final transformation. To the Maya, Kwak represents the storm, the thundercloud full of purifying rain, and the lightning that shatters any false structuring of reality. Okay, so our Schumann resonance pops is helping to shatter any false structuring of reality. It's helping to bring down the false matrix, the false ideas, the paradigms from a personal level, and that flows then outward. Kwak is the purification of the body temple and the ignition of the light body. In these last years of a 26,000 year Mayan grand cycle, Kwak comes to help you in the disintegration process that moves you from separation to unity. This initiation by fire breaks any false containers of self that cannot withstand the flame of transmutation. Only your true identity will live through these fires, for you will be reborn in the heart of all that is. Kwak provides the water that purifies and quenches your spiritual thirst. In this state of consciousness, you stand willing to surrender everything. Enter into the final surrender of the ego, into essence and the arms of your divine self. Surrender. You are being asked to give up what you seem to be to become fully what you truly already are. Step into the fires of the unknown. In this, you are changed forever. With the energy of Kwak, you may at first feel as though your life is not working the way it used to. Old ways of coping may not suffice, and simple perceptions may take on different meanings. You might find yourself saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm just not sure about anything anymore. You may even feel as though you are having a breakdown within the pattern of your old beliefs. But in the new myth, breaking down becomes breaking through. You have simply come to the wall, the edge of what you knew yourself to be. Allow Kwak Storm to purify and cleanse you. Kwak catalyzes and prepares your nervous system and circuitry for complete transformation. It is the electromagnetic storm of transmutation, the clearing and quickening of your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. As you become aligned with the descending energies and evolve in consciousness, your body's vibration is raised, becoming less dense. Your new alignment ignites the quickening process that transmutes the shadows of the past, including experiences, judgments, thought forms, and old patterns that have held you back. As you move into this new vibration, you may feel off balance. Okay. In this transformational shift, you will feel unusual quickenings on every level of your being. You will sense emotional and physical imbalances and restructuring. Your unfinished emotional issues will be catalyzed and brought out for you to address. By being present with your old patterns, you have a unique opportunity to access the energy of Kwak, which is experienced as an inner transformational storm, a natural part of the process of vibrational shift and quickening. Whether you are experiencing these changes consciously or unconsciously, the vibrational change is adjusting your energy pattern to accommodate the flow of the language of light. These new frequencies feed you on every level of your being. As your transformation progresses, you quickly become aware of the unconscious material you still need to process. No longer can you escape the effects of your belief systems. Fears and negative images will all be felt very quickly. The transformation is experienced as if it were happening from the inside out. Things seem to cook inside you. Your innate resonance with these energies may bring on some intense experiences. For example, you may experience unusual brain sensations as the light sensitive areas of your brain, such as the pituitary and pineal glands, are activated. You may also experience ringing in the ears, muscle and joint aches, and nervous system quote unquote disorders, as well as tingling, heat waves, and heart palpitations. You may even undergo skin reactions and altered sleep patterns. Though the intensity may at times feel overwhelming, your heart knowing will tell you the difference between these experiences and real health concerns. These changes stem from the heightened frequency of light in your system and are a natural part of the process of the alchemical transmutation that we are undergoing as we collectively evolve. If you judge, deny, or resist your process, you may actually amplify these sensations. Avoid labeling them as pain or discomfort. Take care of yourself. Seek guidance and support, whatever will ease your mind and physical process. This may include supplements, herbs, massage, exercise, psychological support, and so forth. Gently allow your body your body mind, its transformation, and rejoice that this alignment is happening. Offer your experience to spirit. In return, spirit will give you the wisdom for your perfect evolvement. One powerful technique that will help you in your transformation and purification process is meditation, opening yourself to spirit and infusing your entire being with light and love. This may sound simple, but it can have profound results. You are creating the sacred ground where your physical form meets your light body. Much like gestation and birth, it is a process that, once begun, has innate unfoldment. You are in the process of crafting a light body, which interpenetrates your light seals and chakra systems. It is created through ignition and expansion of interstellar light within the subatomic levels of your cells. This process involves a physical quickening, an electromagnetic acceleration, and restructuring. This transformation is activating every aspect of your being, all the way down to cellular and genetic levels. Remember that you have chosen to take part in this rebirth, both on a planetary and a personal level. The planetary dream, the miracle on Earth, is what brought you here. You are becoming the living model of the new reality. As an emissary for the great shift, you are a transformer of the collective myth. Okay. Riding the crest of the wave, you are traveling both outwardly and inwardly on your journey home for yourself and for all those who will follow after you. As did your ancestors and the ancestors before and the ancestors before, back into all through our concept of time linearly. A simple catalyst for this catapulting force is the integration of duality within. The personal integration of shadow will assist in creating this leap. Personal shadow is simply that which is separated from the full light of consciousness. By integrating shadow, you are freed from delusions of right and wrong, good and evil. Shadow provides an opportunity for you to bring in all of your expanded essence. Another useful construct of the new paradigm of Kwak is known as Pulsation Flex, which is the oscillation of consciousness as a unified wave between finite and infinite worlds, and between matter and energy. The energy or consciousness of this wave is what actually creates and holds physical reality together. Pulsation Flex is usually not perceived except in transcendent experiences because you generally perceive yourself as solid matter. However, before the veil of separation descended, you could move between identity and deity at will, consciously functioning in two realities at once. In fact, your essence self functions in all valences and realities right now. By consciously aligning with this flow, you can similarly operate with awareness in all realities. You have an intrinsic and eternal connection to the infinite. Okay, I've got to get my tarot card here. Hold on, where's my Rider-Waite deck? Hold on, let's get it. Because Temperance is the card that I was seeing in this. And Temperance came out in the reading that I just did the other day. And Temperance is 14, which is my number. Okay. This energy. The electric, from the divine, electric down into expression, into form, the knowledge, collective wisdom like the water. 14, temperance, balance, harmony, as above, so below, bringing down. This is, yeah, see, like there's a solar crown on the mountain here. Sorry. This is an electrical energy connection. Crown divine, bringing down into form. Water and ether, emotion and energy, creating. Okay, let me come back to Kwak. The pressure in my head is unbelievable. Okay. Okay. Kwak offers a vibrational, and I pulled my butterfly candle out. I can't burn it because it's a little too close to the side, but I love the smell of it. I'm going to contact this burning lantern, handcrafted butterfly candle. We are shining a light of illumination in that burning lantern. That is the Hermit card, who goes within to seek the inner counsel and the silence outside. So taking the time to go within to explore what is going on. All right. Going into the cocoon and then emerging in that lightning bolt of a moment when it is time for the new to begin. Okay, so Kwak offers a vibrational metamorphosis, a release from density, and a liberation from the illusion of separation. Jose Aguilas describes density as, quote, the inability to perceive with the whole body the harmonic frequencies and their overtones, end quote. Though physical and non-physical realities appear to be separate, they are actually parts of a unified wave, the pulse of the Zuvuya, Zuvuya, the circuit by which all things return to themselves. In your experience, in your connection with this wave, you are timeless and one with all things, experiencing the reality of I am that I am. Okay, so let me pause here. Okay, so in talking about the energy of integration, let me check in with the chat room to see, are we still in the flow here? Yes, okay. Give me a wave or a ping if you don't mind, because I really hope that the sound is catching all of this. Okay, so in emphasizing and bringing in the integration in our conversation last night, and then waking up again today to help to make sure we were integrating all of everything that was coming in the workshop, and also making note to come back. One of our other sister friends who attended the workshop this week shared some guidance. A previous workshop, she shared some guidance that she received, which I will also come back to. Okay. In the integration, and Stacy was, diagramming and speaking about like the embodying of the energy of actually being in that changed of your perception, which can take some time because your old patterns and your habits of that old story are familiar. So like integrating the new thing and giving space and grace and compassion for that to unfold over a long period of time, expectations, right? So understanding that it just wasn't going to be one and done. You don't find out something and shift, and then you're instantly shift out of that pattern. What we're doing now is actually an evolution of an effort of our ancestors and our lines before us to always improve, to always have more stability, to have more opportunity, have more expansion. If you didn't have a college degree, then you wanted your children to have the opportunity to be educated. If you didn't have food, then you tried to make sure that your children were going to be able to always provide food for their kids. Like there's a constant genetic movement towards betterness in terms of environmental capability, but there's also like an energetic thing happening with us in the dimensional selves, not just the physical biological realms, that is also ever seeking to rise to a higher vibrational frequency, right? So the acclimation of that emotionally when you learn something new to shift you and tell the new story, allow the new energy space before beginning to write something, allow it to unfold and be gentle with yourself during that integration process. So one of the things that I was thinking about when she was talking about that, of course, was the Temperance card and the infinite turn. This week, I saw an article about how the famous thing called the Mobius Strip had finally had some form of a scientific breakthrough about it. Now, I knew what the Mobius Strip is from physics class. I know how to tape one together, but this article, I didn't go into it at the time because I'm like, it's too much science for me. interestingly noted, headline and summary. So when Stacy was talking about the infinite and that thing, I instantly saw the Mobius strip. So I marked it for today, like later today, because I was like, I have to get online to talk about this. So I want to share with you what I saw and what the Mobius strip, how it's working. So let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the article that I saw that I didn't read. Now, the timeless journey of the Mobius strip. The opening paragraph says, if you were to trace both sides of the Mobius strip, you would never have to lift your finger. A single-sided surface with no boundaries, the strip is an artist's reverie and a mathematician's feat. A typical thought experiment to demonstrate how the three-dimensional strip operates involves imagining an ant on an adventure. Picture the insect traversing the Mobius band. One apparent loop would land the ant not where it started, but upside down, only halfway through a full circuit. After 2 loops, the ant would be back at the beginning, but dizzy. The figurative and narrative implications of the Mobius strip are rich. When you try to go forward, you ring sideways. When you try to circle in, you find yourself outside. It's an apt allegory for losing control. We might ask ourselves after 2020, where are we? Have we spun around after so much chaos and found our position stagnated back where we started? Or are we at a new beginning? Okay, now I'm going to show you. Let me come back and share again. This is all right. So it's an endless loop. It's an endless, you never go to a starting point and you're always like on the other vantage point of the thing. So it's not just this, it's moving in and around. There's energy moving in this expression. So I was like, oh, cool, ants. That's really an awesome example to be able to show. Now, in the context of clearing and working with your past, your own personal past, and then the past that you inherited yourself, all that you are, if you're, disposed to high blood pressure, predisposed to diabetes, you got to work with that, right? You got to understand that process. That is something, but through changes and awareness and the evolution of opportunity, you can shift for in your hereditary line going forward things out of your epigenetic legacy. Epigenetics, big topic. You could Google it or YouTube it, right? But just manifestation of circumstances through biology would be kind of the shortest way that I could say it. Okay, so as I was again looking for these graphics to show, let me show you what I found. Okay. So we have this person on this little journey, right? Just traipsing along, going where they are on this pathway. But the truth of the matter is that as you are going, that pathway is changing, okay? So it is ever increasing every time we choose in a moment to go with the higher, more loving experience and perspective of the past. And also then maintaining the most loving and open perspective of the future, rather than narrowing ourselves and our opportunity in a protective way because of what we think might be happening in the future. Okay, so coming back to Kwak, I have to bring everything in. All right. Yes, so though physical and non-physical realities appear to be separate, they are actually parts of a unified wave, the pulse of Zuvuya, the circuit by which all things return to themselves. In your connection with this wave, you are timeless and one with all things, experiencing the reality of I am, that I am. As you expand into a new vibrational paradigm, old constructs of reality fall away. For example, you may presently believe that your dream life is separate from your waking life. Don't be surprised if you discover leaky margins between the two realities. In the new reality construct, you are consciously dreaming your personal myth and the larger meta myth into existence. As the veil between worlds thins, universal interconnectedness reveals itself more vividly. In this time, you are being given many new reality constructs and transitional models. The Mayan Oracle is one such model. Another is the concept of dissipative structures. A dissipative structure is an open system that transforms anything that contains, limits, or defines it. The more coherent and complicated a structure becomes, the more vulnerable it, or the more unstable it becomes. The more coherent and complicated a structure becomes, the more unstable it becomes. The more unstable it becomes, the more it calls for transformation. Consciousness is just such a structural metaphor that is calling for transformation. As your consciousness becomes crystallized, narrow, and complex, it invites the process of dissipation to unravel and break it free. As you travel the spiral vortex of light, expanding into ever-widening realms of truth, your crystallized energy breaks down and transcends form. This process can be very intense, but if you embrace it, you can be transformed into a freed adventurer, a divine actor who can play any part without becoming attached to it. Notice that Kwak star glyph can be looked at as a treasure map. Let me get back here. As a treasure map, a trail or thread to follow on the return path home. Notice that Kwak star glyph can be looked at as a treasure map, a trail, or thread to follow on the return path home. Kwak is an arm of the sacred spiral whose trail touches the seeds of the sun. Inherent in it are the fires of purification and initiation, light body activation, and the ecstasy of freedom. Meditate on this glyph for further realization. The number for Kwak is 19, where universal force greater cycles meet on the cosmic playing field of evolution. Where universal forces of greater cycles meet on the cosmic playing field of evolution. This combination of dots and bars represents the divine timing of evolutionary cycles. Kwak's collar is deep purple, which represents devotion and consciousness clothed in the royal robes of the light body. It symbolizes being able to fly while yet in the robes of incarnation, dancing as divinity. It's also a symbol of the inner storm and the thunder beings that are assisting you in your process of transformation. Okay, now at this point, I have to stop here and tell you about this. Another sister shared this with me. Now, I don't know anything about this guy and his TikTok, but beautiful for me to behold. So I am going to show it to you as well. This gentleman's name, he goes by the screen name, Jesus, the Living Son, okay? And what he does is he shows himself moving air, moving fire, moving water, and he's teaching people how to recognize themselves, their ability to do this. So he is like an airbender, like the kids used to watch in cartoons or whatever. So this particular video is of him, thunder. Let me make sure I can still find, yes, it's still up. And I'm going to share this with you as well. Let me share sound so you can hear it.
So you start it with this. You retain it, maintain it with this. Creation. Hold it, hold it. Hold it. So you start it with this. So, you retain it.
I'm not on TikTok. So, you know, you all who are on here, I would definitely tell you to check him out because he is showing the integration of
water, earth, fire, air, water, earth.
Okay, so he is showing the transformation that has taken place in his energy field to be able to connect with nature. And this is like a natural progression. When we talk about like the mutants, you know, X-Men, like we are the miraculous evolution in manifest form. And that means there are things that we are doing that have never been done by biological beings before us. Because again, as it said in that Oshun's, we sit on the throne of the roots of all of the experiences of everything that came before us in creation. We sit on the throne of that. We sit on the throne of our ancestral efforts because we are the pinnacle of what has been created up until this point. At any given moment, we are the evolutionary pinnacle of our species or bloodline. In my case, I don't have children, but I am still manifesting the evolutionary pinnacle from my parents, both adopted and biologically. And I am still passing on the imprint of what my biology is being. In this now moment, in any moment, I am still at the crown of all that effort and sitting there, right? And will continue to bring in everything I have to leverage those who are younger than me, so they are also on an elevated, enlightened, and empowered to be at a higher frequency than me through all that I can bring through myself, effort, energy, service to the collective, and love. Okay. Okay. So okay, if there's something I have to come back to it. The shadow wisdom. Oh, Jesus, the living son. Okay, that's his name. The shadow wisdom. Our planet is in the last part of a grand galactic cycle. Oh, that's it. Okay, so Aquarius and Pisces, the Piscean era, the structures, the institutions, all of that is falling away, and the new Aquarian energy is in, the seeker connected to spirit directly in exploration of all that it can become. So we are meant to look to expanding our consciousness to the highest frequency possible, and we are at the very baby footsteps of that new energy coming in, but it's coming in hot, okay? So, okay. Our planet is in the last part of a grand galactic cycle where the shadow between the paths of heart and mind amplifies any separation. As predicted in Hopi prophecy, the path of the mind is now separating even further from the path of the heart. As the gap between heart and mind widens, that part of you that follows the intellectual, rational path is being intensified and pushed into transformation. In the shadow of Kwak are held issues of spiritual separation. Kwak bridges the time and space between physical and non-physical realities. This space can be viewed as a wall or veil between you and the Creator. The intensity of your desire to go home is often met with equal force from the collective belief in separation. At times, you may even experience a sense of despair or helplessness over the apparent gap between you and spirit. Take courage. You will move through the wall. During this process, you may encounter intense feelings related to the original trauma of separation from source. But equally intense feelings will take you through the wall to sacred reunion on the other side. On this journey, you will meet and deal with the charge of that part of your power that has not been freed into love. And in your yearning for your spiritual home, you will be assisted by ascended beings and masters whose purpose is to aid in your return. The prominent shadow of Kwak can be seen as fear of loss, the fear that by jumping into the unknown, you will lose everything: companions, loved ones, attachments, possessions, perhaps even your body or mind. Kwak is the crucible of evolution. This transformation is so inclusive that you may be reluctant to take risks for fear of the depth of change. You may even have feelings of despair or giving up. Though it can appear frightening, this process is actually there to serve you, to magnify your feelings until you address them, using them as fuel to propel you through the transformational barrier itself. Another shadow of Kwak falls on those who seek to escape or transcend earthly reality through addictions of all kinds, to substances, fears, self-doubts, material comforts, relationships, sexual obsessions, and work, among others. Addictions are like incomplete rites of passage, where compulsive behavior creates a feeling of being trapped rather than being free. They may offer the appearance of freedom, but only spiritual connection can offer true freedom. On the other hand, the desire for a new or altered state can become an indirect spiritual path leading to transcendence. Thus, the escape is incomplete, yet eventually brings one to the opportunity of a profound transformation. Any illusions you may have about self are magnified intensely through the lens of Kwak. When you experience separation from spirit's love, questions of essence self and issues of archetypal self-worth arise. This separation springs from a basic denial of your oneness with spirit. Denial can be seen as consciously or unconsciously holding something away from yourself, and it creates an energy loss and a feeling of disconnection from your potential and vital life source. However, that which feels like it has been lost returns when you forgive yourself. Accept your human process, freeing the power and potential that has been locked in your fear-based emotions. Accept your behaviors as part of your learning experience. Let go of the rigid belief systems and judgments that hold denial in place. Acceptance is the allowance that creates freedom, and separation is the guide to union. You may tend to deny your feelings and your growth process, thinking that you are above them or have already worked through them. This denial amplifies and intensifies the feelings until they come into awareness. Know that the intensity of your process is also healing your cellular and genetic memory, as well as the collective issues of humanity and the planet. Let me say that again. Know that the intensity of your process is also healing your cellular and genetic memory, as well as the collective issues of humanity and the planet. Simply accept the truth of your experience, no matter how intense or difficult it may seem. Embrace everything that happens to you, and you will regain your vital energy that can be applied to the purpose of evolution. Okay. Oh, hey, Melanie, Naked Lady Mandalas. Talk about energy going forward and backwards and clearing for the ancestors in the bloodline. All right. Okay. I have to pause because, no, I don't. Okay. Continuing. So that's the shadow side, which we are shining light on. We're going through this eclipse, shining light on things and the external realities, coming to new awareness of things outside of us, being revealed so that we can begin to approach our emotional response, integrating our emotional response to this lunar eclipse. That's what's coming. Okay. All right. So the harmonic wisdom embodied in Kwak is freedom. Let me put Oshun back up here, because if ever there is a freedom image, I think that that is it. All right. The harmonic wisdom embodied in Kwak is freedom, which can be defined as the state of being unconstrained by fate, karma, necessity, or circumstances in one's choices or actions. Freedom is an open reality wherein you know that you are at the choice every moment. This state of being originates from an innate perception of reality. It is the understanding that you are an actor, free to play any part at any moment without being attached to it. You work with your life scripts, your attachments and perceptions to free them. From this perspective comes the fullest freedom, learning to live in natural harmony and union with divine will. In music, this concept is expressed by the term piacere, which means at the pleasure of the performer. As a divine actor aligned with divine will, you are free at any moment to dance the dance of ecstasy. The musical descriptor of this harmonic is senza, meaning without measure. This refers to a composition that has the feeling of freedom. Since all limitations and separation are illusory, freedom is without measure. Okay? We are liberating ourselves, freeing ourselves from the constraints, freeing ourselves from the false matrix, freeing ourselves from our own imprisonments of our mind and our perspective, and freeing ourselves from patterns and problems for all of us. Even though it may seem like you're not, when you do it for yourself, you are doing it for all. Okay, this is the pause part. So our friend Erica comes, and she went to this workshop a while back. So she shared with us this week, let me see if I have it on my photos already, and I'll download it. She got guidance from Thoth or Tahuti, however you wish to pronounce it. let's see, we're backing up the pictures here. And I think I've already got it. So let me log over here and see if I do. I don't think that I do. Let me check it. I know it's in our group chat. I wish you could throw pictures into the chats on Zoom in the moderator, because I know my moderator would definitely do it for me. Thank you for being here, everyone. Okay. Let's see here. Download the picture. Now let's view the picture. All right, here I come. Thank you for your patience. And of course, I'm getting all kind of pressure, which means this is good, good, good. All right. Light codes. Light initiation, great teacher, awakening, and divine magic. Okay, that star, Jesus, the living son, had the star in his center where he was pushing through his heart chakra, the energy that was responding in the thunder. Okay, so light codes, beautiful. Like the bird is the word. All right, this is sharing of knowledge and transmitting of information. Now, let me stop share while I find this picture. The teaching and the facilitating that is done by Sandy, she always begins with sharing information about the elder, the wise elder, who she received this knowledge and wisdom transmission from. So I'm pulling up his picture as well. All right. Make this page a little bigger. All right. Share my screen. This is the picture she always shares. And I did not realize until yesterday, after Erica had sent me her picture a few days ago, I was like, oh, look at that emblem, look at the passing on. And of course, if I absolutely invite you to come to a family mapping where you can receive more of the wisdom teachings through Sandy, because the information and the light codes and the knowledge and the healing that is being brought forward from his teaching is absolutely amazing and phenomenal, because it's even here with us like right now in this experience. So let me pull back up this card here. All right, and then let me tell you what the guidance said for this. Light initiation, great teacher, awakening, divine magic. Thoth, pronounced Thoth, also known as Tahuti, is the ancient Egyptian ibis-headed god of writing, divine magic, and the moon. Acknowledged as the scribe who created writing, he is considered to be the great mind behind the hieroglyphics and the maintainer of the Egyptian universe. It is said he was the priest king of Atlantis and was dedicated to leading the Atlantean people in a loving way that was firm but fair. However, no matter how hard he tried to direct them, many of them didn't obey the spiritual laws of the universe, which inevitably led to the end of their civilization. This gateway takes you to a space where you can connect with the energetic frequency that Tahuti carries. As a master teacher of the stars, he holds space for you to connect with the saint of your greatest gifts from this lifetime, with some of your greatest gifts from this lifetime and the many others you've lived. the greatest gifts, the gifts of your ancestors and their lived experience, and they're passing on to you of that through your DNA encodement and inheritance. That Tahuti's primary teaching is spiritual integrity, and he's working alongside a powerful congregation of evolved souls, the ascended Atlanteans, to guide those who are ready to increase their awareness. He specializes in helping those who are finding it difficult to make spiritual progress, to rise above the aspects of their life that are holding them back, and he helps awaken the teacher within. Okay, so in the message, you are blessed to connect with Tahuti. You are going through a powerful set of light initiations at this time, and these are preparing you to lead and teach from a powerful space of love. In order to complete the process, there will be a release of old ideas and limiting stories, but this is necessary for you to connect with the true power within you. Don't be concerned by the intensity of the energies that surround you right now. Facing shadow parts of yourself and your story is essential for connecting with divine magic and evolved beings of light that are there to lead the way. If you have any concerns or fears at this time, know that when fear gets loud, it's because you're on the cusp of something extremely powerful. Okay, we are on the cusp of something extremely powerful. We are moving air, fire, and water with our abilities. We are breaking generational curses and evolving humanity to a higher frequency. Okay, it says here, Melanie, who lives near the beach, she said, I saw an unusual bird today who resembles the ibis. Gotta love the bird tribe. Going to take my sunset walk, but thank you. Oh, love it. Get that sunset energy for us. We will pull it in through our collective and this solar activation. And of course, surf the waves, sister. Be safe while you're out there. And much namaste to you, Melanie. All right. I love this. I love this. Now, this is where we're going in the next little level. I've got more to bring in. I'm glad that you're with me. All right. So when I opened the Mayan Oracle to find the Kwak card, the card Language of Light was looking up at me. So we have here the light codes, the galactic activation. We have behind, the moon is behind. The illumination, the awareness, the language of light, el lenguaje de la luz. And that was, I'm sure, terrible. So all my friends, sorry, I didn't learn good Spanish when I was down there. Okay, so language of light. Qualities are one-pointed focus, gateway, direct access, sound and light transmissions, devotion, sound and light healer, activation of the light body, transcendent consciousness, and feelings as divine access points. Feelings as divine access points. Water, emotions, feelings as divine access points. Okay. This lens, this is the lens in which to view our perspective and the past and the future. It heralds your approach to an interdimensional gateway. Be watchful. The language of light, the energy of your divine self, is assisting you in the crafting of your light body. This loving creation occurs through subtle transmissions of energy that can be sensed as pulses of light, color, sound, or heightened vibration. Drawing this card indicates that you would be served in bringing your mind into one pointed focus of awareness to receive these gifts. Remain in a devotional state of communion to receive the potent transmission of these energies. Trust and develop this sacred language. It is encoded in your feelings. All feelings are access points to the divine. You will know when you have been touched by this abstract language when you have a sudden sense of union, transcendence, or expanded perception. Learn to use your feelings as your spiritual steering mechanism. Let your heart be your compass. Allow this ancient mode of communication to spark memories of your purpose and destiny. Symbols act as a means for decoding this abstract language. You do not have to understand symbols. Their meaning affects you on a superconscious level that permeates all aspects of your being. Rather than relying on meanings fixed in memory, be receptive to your immediate responses to symbols and metaphors. Let them ignite your own mythic coding, acting as a rapid transit between realities. Colors are also part of this language. Notice and work with the colors that strongly attract or repel you. Remember, you are the knower. Fly into the pure state of consciousness where there are no words. Open to receive your native tongue, the galactic language of light. Feel the pulse of reunion, lovingly tended as a gift of grace. Now that was unusual for me to experience because I felt the energy change as I was saying, vibrationally speaking those words, and I felt the difference. Okay, for the activation of light codes and energies to be able to allow those to transmit through my vessel and self of unconditional love and truth for the highest good of the collective. Okay, so meditating, third eye, activating, your portal, your language of light, whatever it looks like for you. Okay, so I have two more to bring in. I wanted to find out about the hidden worlds. All right, what message from the hidden wants to be made manifest and known to us in this moment of transformation that is part of the catalyst and the fuel that we are seeing with the eclipse energies and the awareness that our ancestors and DNA are bringing forward for our evolution as we come with the veil being removed as to the connectedness of all things. I am my ancestor and my future self in form in this now perception. Okay, so the gift, present, honoring, and offering. Look at this. Light codes, the gift, the flowing waters coming down, the energy, receive. The gift, presence, honoring, offering. This is 39, which is 12, which is a 3. Okay, so let's look for this gift. The hidden being revealed is the gift. Okay. Again, in that forest, in the greenness of our mother home. Look at that beautiful column of light. That's just amazing. There are times in this life when you know you have been given a great gift. It can be a life-changing moment, one in which you feel suddenly that all has changed and what once was can never be the same again, because what has taken place has been a gift a way of seeing, feeling, perceiving the energies all about you. And this is now what lies before you. You are being offered a great gift, one which is in part destiny, in part reward, in part plea for you to receive this gift of perception, to begin to see what lies beyond the confines of the world others call real, and to become a being who understands the language of the spirit as it is expressed in the world. This gift may come in the form of visions and of knowledge, but it comes from a trusted source in ways that cascade and gather, just as they do down this waterfall until its presence can no longer be denied. Wow, this gift may come in the forms of visions and knowledge, but it comes from a trusted source. What did it say? We are, our ancestors are living water within our bodies, okay, from the trusted source in ways that cascade and gather just as they do down this waterfall until its presence can no longer be denied. There is sacred trust being placed in you by the beings of the hidden worlds. They ask you to be their emissary on this planet. Know amidst the ordinary moments of our lives that within these two lie the sacred. It is the intent which we bring to these moments that determines whether all we do is an offering and is made sacred, or if it is simply in the domain of the mundane. Dear one, we come to you now and ask you to receive this gift. We ask you to know you are a chosen one, to take this gift and preserve what is sacred in the moments great and small of your life. Once accepted, life will change and you will change too in ways that will quench the deep thirst of your soul. The illumination, it is now my time to receive. I accept the gifts of the hidden worlds gladly and with an open heart. Wow. With an open heart. Yes. Okay. All right. So the last card here is going to be, let me make sure to check my notes. Oh, okay. The rainbow energies. I was working with bringing the balance of the energies, all the chakras like running through your body, swirling through your cells, letting them be in your DNA. That was from, 5:55. Is it just 5:55? Oh, wow. That's so amazing. Thank you. Okay, so I'm laughing because this guidance came from the Divine Love Letters book, and I had done a random number pull. I forget what day it was, but it was last week. And I got letter number 50. So when you read letter number 50, it says, rainbow rays. Each color has a different healing quality. Imagine the rainbow colors going through your body, touching your cells, touching your DNA, iridescent light flowing through you, healing by light. The light of the rainbow enters your physical body and brings aspects of the other dimensions into your physical form. You are integrating the rainbow energies into the physical realm. You are like a vessel for the light, a vessel for the rainbow to create heaven on earth. Remember, the power comes from knowledge, the power through wisdom. Wisdom only comes through going within, a journey of the inner soul, a journey of discovering the inner sanctum of your heart and your hearts together. Okay, we are journeying. That's what this is about, why we come here and travel together, because we are discovering the journey of the soul, discovering the inner sanctum of the heart. the most sacred place in that space of connectedness with the source of all that is, and love frequency of unified creator expression, right? So we are here moving these rainbow rays in relationship, expanding our consciousness structure as a fractaline experience and new expression, evolving consciousness on a galactic level. Okay, so I'm going to see here, what is the geometric fractal of sacred geometry to support the relationship work that we are doing as we receive the gifts of our inheritance and energies of all who came before. We're gonna do 5 shuffles on this. 4 and 5. I know we're gonna do top and bottom of the deck just because that's how my guides work with me. Okay, so joy. Look at this. Look at that beautiful energy of joy surrounded by pink, compassion. Oh my goodness, how delightful this is. The energy of joy activates our feelings of happiness and well-being and supports a high vibrational frequency in our being. There's so much rejoicing at our ability to go through this transformation. It's like on all levels, not only are we joyful, but there is joy universally as us, we are going through this change of consciousness, the change of frequency. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful joy, joy, joy. Okay. I know a friend, Tracy, her car name is Joy, and she leaves joy in her exhaust everywhere she goes. That's her intention. And because she says it is so, and the car is, they're spreading love through their energetic awareness and spreading joy. Okay. So I am joyful. If you don't think you can, you won't. So you better think that you can do anything and everything. Aim for the star, reach for the stars. Is that what this says here? All right. Given to me by a youngster, Jet, for the generation, encouraged to reach for the stars. Okay, so joy is one of the most positive emotions we can experience. If we are to distinguish between happiness and joy, then joy belongs to the soul realm and is generated internally, whereas happiness is tied to external circumstances, people, things, and events. We are energetic beings, which means that we vibrate at a certain frequency, as does each feeling we have. Emotions are energy in motion, and our body responds to the emotion we are feeling. Sadness will cause a slow and low vibration, hence the saying that we are feeling down. Joy is considered one of the highest vibrations. When our vibration rises, we literally become lighter, less dense, less made of matter, and more of energy. This is why physical and other discomfort and pain sometimes seems to vanish when we feel joyful. It is helpful to realize that our sense of joy can be cultivated through our consciousness and attitude. Learning how to see the world from a larger perspective and from others' points of view helps. So does gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, acceptance, generosity, and a sense of humor, as a playful attitude makes everything lighter. The image description. The center of the image shows the heart chakra, referring to the heart as the center of our joy. From our heart, our joy radiates out into the world, drawing high vibrational experiences towards us. The blue refers to the expression of our joy outward. The purples and magentas refer to our connection to source, our ultimate source of joy. The pinks refer to the universal love for oneself and others, combined with softness, tenderness, and care. Brighter pink brings in aspects of aliveness, excitement, high energy, and power. The golds refer to abundance, wealth, and power, which all flow more easily towards us when we are in a state of joy and can be effortlessly shared with others and the world. The number 8 signifies double manifestation, or the state of joy that we are here to create and experience while on this earth plane. Okay, for that 8, that infinite return. Infinity. Okay, joy in relationship. Our sense of joy comes from feeling whole, complete, and loved. Although connection with another can certainly contribute to this feeling, joy ultimately needs to be generated from within through our connection to a higher power, to source, spirit, or God, and to a sense of belonging to a larger whole. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. So when we feel joyful, we'll likely draw joy into our life. That's why when we are in love or experience great joy, life seems to flow and we attract more loving and joyous experiences. While the emotion of joy arises spontaneously, we can certainly facilitate its emergence by how we approach the world and ourselves. Hello, Lens, how we approach the world and ourselves. Being aware of how we feel and consciously looking for things to be grateful for steers us towards a positive attitude and raises our vibration. Food for thought. Do you often experience joy in your life? What brings the feeling on? If you don't, what is in the way of your joy? How can you bring more joy into your life? Are you grateful? Find 5 things you are grateful for. Okay, for the 5. What about humor? Think about 3 things that happened lately that were hilarious. Now think about 10 more things that can bring moments of joy. Remember, they're often little and unplanned. Okay? I'm definitely feeling the joy and the laughter and the fun. Like, this is just a delightful thing. Even now, I'm just joyful at being able to bring forward this particular energy for myself and for others. Okay, I love that. Okay, so the last integration, let me see if there was anything else on the joy. Where'd it go? I've got so many cards. Oh, okay, not yet, not yet. Okay, so the last card. Ooh, divine masculine. The frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. Okay, let me go back here real quick. I see spirit. Let me share my screen. The frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form, transforming the intuition, the emotion, the feeling into form, electric and magnetic working harmoniously together. Okay, so let me come on back out of here. That's 17. Divine masculine, heart At the center, green, truth-filled expression, awakening third eye. Okay, for the activation. Oh, also the I don't know if it's coming up good, but behind here is this portal in the blue. There is a portal behind it. Okay. Okay. So, divine masculine. I am divine masculine. In the new energy, we let go of traditional roles, allowing new masculinity and new femininity to arise. Just as the concept of divine feminine is no longer exclusively for women, divine masculine is no longer just for men. We all hold both masculine and feminine energy and attributes within us, and both must be fully realized, understood, and expressed. The masculine is active and focused. His nature is to direct and push. He is intrinsically connected to the material world, providing security, structure, and reason. And his intrinsic nature is closer to the earthly and physical planes. The new divine masculine is balanced, conscious, sensual, and gentle, able to facilitate the expression of the divine feminine. He is loving and kind, strong and independent, yet open to co-creation and partnership. The image description. The center square, as well as the number 4 and all the straight lines, refers to the form-based world of physicality that is associated with the masculine. The green indicates our deeply rooted truth, our deeply rooted truth, okay? The dark blue refers to the vast universe. I'm laughing because Stacy, several of us met, we used to go to Deeply Rooted, a hair salon where they were doing our hair and our locks and natural hair care, which was part of us being freed from the corporate matrix of hair control. Okay, so like Deeply Rooted was part of our conversation. And of course, the deeply rootedness of the ancestors as well. Okay, so the green indicates our deeply rooted truth, the heart, the deeply rooted truth of love in our heart space. The dark blue refers to the vast universe. The swirling circles in the background represents dimensions and star systems beyond this earth that are our origin, that are at our origin. Divine masculine relationship. Although we all carry qualities of both the masculine and feminine inside of us, in most relationships, there is one person who predominantly embodies the feminine attribute and one the masculine. The harmony between the two might depend on one's individual understanding of this inner dual nature, as well as the outer roles that each person plays in the relationship. The masculine side can drive things forward and get things done. As he is closely connected to the earthly plane and the physical world, he can offer structure and foundations, something solid in which to anchor. The directed and focused masculine often needs the receptive and flowing feminine to feel inspired and creative. While the masculine excels at action, he needs the feminine to imagine all the possibilities he could manifest into form. Food for thought. Are you in touch with your masculine side? How does it express itself? Think of some things that are considered masculine. How do you feel about those? How do you feel about those things that are considered feminine? Do you feel that the divine masculine can be all of it? Can you think of some examples or role models in the public eye who embody a new and balanced divine masculine? Okay, so the image that is with that, you can see we have the Merkaba, the light body. All right, so in the new paradigm, we are integrating our masculine and feminine. We are not outsourcing our polarities. And the closer that we can move our balance to the center point, being able to draw on any aspect self-source, the inner masculine, the inner feminine, because we are the collective expression of DNA contribution from the masculine polarity and feminine polarity. So it is in us genetically. So mastering a fluidity of availing of the best and the worst, well, not the worst, but in integrating the shadow side of the masculine and the feminine templates and moving them to a higher frequency through the evolution. And we're doing that through playing these different roles and functions with each other. So being grateful for the opportunity to refine our frequencies through interrelatedness and relationship to make it a joyful experience. That is how we are elevating. And no matter what our struggle seems to be in terms of our physical experience in the realm, the soul is still experiencing at a higher frequency level, because every negative experience informs the collective so that that negative experience can be moved out of the collective template. So for every negativity that you experience, know that then somehow you are clearing so that you yourself do not necessarily have to repeat the same experiential thing to be informed. You have a DNA record, you have a soul record, you have a mental record of that energetic trauma or harm. And then you will work to make sure that you are not experiencing that same discomfort or level of intensity in an unpleasant way going forward. That is what each of our lives are contributing to the expression of our evolution and the rising consciousness of ascension. Okay. Wow. Okay. That is where, so I went and these are 2 cards that I received free. Uplifted and Empowered. It celebrates the beauties and significance. So this is the Uplifted and Powerful Soulful True You cards from Hallmark Mahogany. So it says that the ancestors are moving mountains to see you rise. And indeed, we all are. And everything will be all right. Know that we are protected, the rainbow of promise. We are the rainbow ray here, evolving the consciousness. And know that you are powerful and resilient. Nothing you go through will change that. It's already recorded. The little engine that could. It's how this is, right? We are doing this. We're not doing it alone. We have the rooted structure, that tree of our ancestors, of their information that is in us, that they pass on to us. It's still here, it's still operating, it's still evolving, and we can accept the gift of their support with a newfound awareness and go forward to continue our rise. Okay, I'm going to close and conclude this reading. I'm so thankful. In the coming days, I'll put the information at Sandy Muhammad Family Mapping if you're in the Atlanta area. And I'll be next week at Holistic on the weekend, Holistic Health and Wellness in Marietta. If you want to have a session, I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday next week. So I hope to see you there, and the next reading and the next space. I know that the light in me absolutely honors the light in you. Namaste.